Good morning, Panthers. I'm Chad Kresser, and I'm here with two very special guests today. Mr. Steve Kohler, history teacher extraordinaire. Everybody probably knows him.
Hello, everyone.
And Tamara Humphrey is a classmate of mine from the class of 1987.
Yep. Great class. Great class.
We were, weren't we?
Yes.
Good class. So how you guys doing today?
I'm good. Good. Thank you. How are you?
I'm fine, thanks. So you're probably wondering what these people have in common together. Tamara is the founder of the Good Life Travel, and what made you get into that?
So I've always loved to travel. It really, I'm very interested in other cultures and other people. And after my youngest, I knew was going to be graduating from St. Mary's and heading on, I thought, what am I going to do now? What's my next step? So I started this business, and I'm very much enjoying it.
For how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for about 3 years.
Has it been that long?
Yeah, it has been that long.
It's gone fast.
And
I
I
did
know
it the first year by myself, and then I brought on 2 other people to work in my business too. So
Gotcha.
yeah.
Okay, awesome. And Mr. Kohler, we all know. I still call you Mr. Kohler.
That's okay. Everyone
Never
does.
switched to Steve. That's okay. After all these years.
It's hard,
Everyone
isn't
does.
it? It's
Yes.
hard.
Yeah.
How long have you been here, for those that might not know?
This is actually my 41st year teaching at St. Mary's. Loved every single one of them.
Everyone? Some more than others.
Some more than others, but it's been a great place to teach. St. Mary's has always been very good to me, and I'm very happy to be still teaching here.
We're happy that you're still here.
Thank you.
You've
Yep.
influenced probably thousands by this time.
Yeah,
Oh,
something
yeah.
like that,
Yeah.
yeah.
Probably.
We had 100 in our class, Chad. So
Actually, I remember we were the
Yeah.
first to dip under 100
Yeah.
because somebody left in the middle of the
yeah,
year. or
yeah, we
something.
were just
Yeah.
we were
So
right
you're
at
99, and
Yeah.
everybody was in a
There's
panic.
debate, yeah.
When I first started, the classes were well over 100. Then they've slowly declined, kind of hovered in the 70s and 80s for a while, and now they're a little bit less than that. But always been a good place to teach.
Yes. And so you're probably wondering what these two people have in common. I'm just here, the talking head. But these two have something in common, and that is that we have teamed up with the Good Life Travel and Mr. Kohler to take an SMCC alumni and friends vacation trip to Austria and Germany.
Yes.
Yeah.
And Mr.
Yes.
Kohler will be our tour guide because he is the history teacher, and there's a lot of history over there, right?
Yes, there is a lot of history over there. I don't know if I'll be the tour guide,
He's the
but
host.
I'm the host.
He's the host.
I'm the host.
The host
I'm
with the
looking
most.
forward to it very much too.
Okay, so how did this idea come about, and why did you agree? Have you been overseas, Mr. Kohler?
I've been overseas, but I've not been to Austria or Germany. Tammy kind of came to me with this idea of a Steve Kohler sponsored trip, and then we talked about where we might want to go. We tossed around a lot of different destinations, and we landed on Germany and Austria, and I'm very excited about it.
And obviously,
too.
it's a good fit because you're an alum, Mr. Kohler. Technically, you are an alum also.
Yes, class of 23.
Class of 23. We finally just
2023, not 1923.
and it's good for our alumni to reconnect, go on this trip together, and it's alumni and friends. So
Yes.
Right.
you don't have to be
Nope.
an alum.
Exactly.
You could be the spouse or a family that's connected to the school.
Or parents
Yes.
of, or just
Right.
a friend.
Really,
Yeah.
anyone who knows me or you, Tamara. Wants
Really?
to go.
Anyone. But I thought it would be nice to have alumni kind of gather together with someone very important to our school and explore a part of the world that's
Yeah.
very interesting and lots of fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it's perfect. And why do you think it's important? Why do you think travel is important? Why do you think it's a good
Oh my
thing,
gosh.
especially now?
There's so many reasons why travel is important. I think it changes your life when you get out and you see other people, other cultures. The way other countries do things is different than ours, and not necessarily better or worse, but just different. And I think you can just learn so much.
Sure,
It
yeah.
changes you when you travel. You don't come back the same person.
Absolutely. I mean, there's different ways to learn about different cultures, to be exposed to them. You can read a book, you can watch a video or a movie or a documentary, but to be there, totally different. I mean, it opens your
Totally.
eyes, opens your mind. You experience other people, how they live. It makes you grow as a person, and obviously learn a lot more
And
too.
actually just to see the things
Yes.
in real life, rather, it's
Exactly.
obviously different than a photo
Right.
or
Yes.
video or anything. So obviously this is a good opportunity for alumni and families and people to travel together. Why did you choose Germany and Austria for this first try?
Well, I guess I'll just speak up for that first. I mean, I've never been to Germany, so that's probably the first reason. The second reason was my family heritage is from Germany, so Kohler is very German. Plus, I've just heard so many great things about the country itself.
What generation of Kohler's got here?
I'm a third generation, so I was obviously born in the U.S. My parents were born in the U.S. All my grandparents were born in the U.S., but my great-grandparents were from Germany. I think on both sides of my family, which are both German. So I've always been curious about that. There's a lot of history in Germany,
Obviously.
stuff that connects to the U.S., obviously, with World War II and even the Cold War and things like that. So there are a lot of destinations that Tamara and I talked about, but we landed on Germany. I'm very excited about it.
Me too.
And Austria.
Yeah,
Yes.
we're starting in Salzburg, which is very close to Germany. It's just really over the border. It's a very short drive, but that's where we're starting.
Okay.
And the area has, as Mr. Kohler said, so much history, a lot of fun things to do. You'll really want to take an introspective deep dive about your thoughts about history when you go there, and you start realizing, well, I understand now why they did this or this, and the result was this. It's fascinating to me.
Sure. Yeah. All right. So some specifics about the trip. When would this trip take place?
So we depart from the U.S. no later than July 31st
Of
of
2024.
2024. Yep.
So coming up probably quicker than everybody thinks.
Yeah.
Yes.
And the tour officially starts on August 1st. Now, you can go before and be in Salzburg on August 1st to start the trip. And then it goes till August 10th. So
Perfect.
10 days, 9 nights.
Okay. And is there any chance, so this is how long did you say?
10 days,
10
9
10
nights.
days.
Give or
Yeah.
take.
That's a long time. So you're
Yeah.
probably covering a lot of ground. You're probably doing a lot of things.
Yes.
Yes.
Is there any chance that in that portfolio you have there, maybe you have an itinerary?
Absolutely.
Give
There's
us
a really good chance of it being in there.
Would you like me to kind of run through it?
Yeah, why
We
not?
would love it.
What exactly are we getting into?
All right, so we are going to start in Salzburg, Austria. What do you know about Salzburg? Either one of you, anything?
Sound of Music.
Sound of Music, the place where the
Best
Sound of
movie
Music
ever made.
was filmed. It's also the home
All right,
of
no, it
Mozart.
Is
So
do they have like the Sound of Music house is still there?
there are,
existing?
yes. I mean, there are places that the Sound of Music was filmed that you can totally see. There's a place you can spend the night where they filmed the backyard scenes.
Oh my
We
God,
won't be
did you-
spending the night there, but we'll probably go there. Yeah, and it's kind of fun. I've spent the night at that place. It's fun to look at my pictures now and then see the film, and you can see, oh my gosh, it's still, you know,
Oh, wow.
that statue is still there.
Still there.
Many years later. So Salzburg is also the home of Mozart. So we will see his home as well. But Salzburg is a kind of a small city. It's not a very large city at all. It's easy to navigate. It's beautiful, absolutely beautiful. They have a wonderful cathedral there. That cathedral has 4 organs, which is kind of
Oh my gosh.
unique. And we'll spend time in Salzburg. We're going to do a little bit of day tripping to see Berchtesgaden and the Eagle's Nest, which has some World War II history associated with that.
Mm-hmm.
We'll also be going to Hallstatt, which is a beautiful little town on a lake in Austria. And we'll end our time in Austria at the Fortress, which kind of sits up on a hill in Salzburg with a Mozart concert and dinner at night.
Oh my
So,
gosh.
I know.
And that's just Salzburg. That's just
Salzburg.
That's
Yeah.
just the
And
first
I'm not
day or
just
so.
talking about everything we're doing.
Yeah.
I'm going to leave some things for surprise. But
Okay.
then we're going to head out and drive towards Munich. But on the way, we'll stop at the Linderhof Palace, which is one of the 3 palaces that was used by King Ludwig II of Bavaria. He is a fascinating character in history, and he built this Linderhof, or he lived at this Linderhof castle that has beautiful gardens. You will absolutely be astounded at how beautiful it is when you go through it. We'll land then in Munich, where we'll of course go to a beer hall or 2 maybe, and we'll have we'll have local guides. There'll be local guides. We'll have a guide with us the whole time, but we'll also have local guides in the cities we visit. So in Munich, we'll have somebody that actually lives in Munich, who will give us a tour, tell us where to go.
Really know everything that
Yeah.
there is to know.
Yeah,
Yes, the local culture.
and the tour is crafted so that there's a balance between structured things to do and then free time. So
Yes.
you will have time, like lunches are probably going to be free time most of the time.
You could go wherever you want,
Yeah.
walk down
Yes.
Yeah.
some neighborhoods or
Exactly.
whatever.
Shop.
Explore.
Explore. if you want to learn more about Mozart, you may want to hit the Mozart spots in Salzburg. So while we're in Munich, we'll be taking a trip to Neuschwanstein Castle, which is another one of the King
There's a lot
Ludwig.
of castles and palaces. And
Well, a
things.
few. In
cathedrals,
this part
churches.
of the trip, this is the one that everybody wants to see. It's the one that you've seen in pictures. It's the one that Walt Disney supposedly based Cinderella
okay.
Castle on. And it's a very interesting castle. It's not old. It was built in the late 19th century by King Ludwig II, and he never really lived there. But he was very theatrical, so you'll see some really cool, interesting things in this castle that you would not expect.
Right.
And he's known as the Swan King, so you'll see swan things everywhere. It's beautiful. And I think it's something that everybody will enjoy, really.
Yeah.
All right, leaving Munich, we will make a stop at Dachau, which is Germany's first concentration camp. But after we leave there, we are going to go to a little town called Rotenburg ob der Tauber. And it's
I'm impressed that you can say
Say
these
that again.
towns so
Yes,
well.
say that again.
Rotenburg ob der Tauber. And that means Rotenburg by the water. Ob der Tauber is by the water. And it's a little medieval walled city that was not destroyed during the war. And you can walk all around the ramparts of the city. It's kind of a level up. And just a really cool place.
Yeah,
Really,
it's
really
very
cool
scenic.
place. And they have a museum. I don't think we're going there, but if you have free time, there's a museum of medieval torture in that city, which, may be interesting to some people.
Torture.
And in that town, too, they have this interesting dessert called Schneeballen, which is just this ball of fried dough that you'll see everywhere. I don't think they're that good, but
That's
fried
local
dough.
culture right there.
Cholesterol.
Yeah, and let me just say, while we're talking about food, the food in Germany, it's wonderful.
Like, obviously through the war and that, but a lot of these places, were they untouched, or
No.
did they rebuilt them, sort of
Yeah.
refurbished them?
Yeah, a lot of places were destroyed. Some were untouched, but I'll use Munich as an example. They have a beautiful city hall in the Marienplatz, and last time I was there, my guide said, "Do you see this part? That's the only part that was remaining from World War II. The rest of it has been rebuilt since
Right.
then."
And
And
they-
I wouldn't have known that.
You couldn't tell.
No. But
So were they restored to what they looked like prior to the war?
absolutely.
Was that
Well, for the most part,
objective?
every community had a choice. So some places like Berlin chose to go more modern.
Yeah.
And places like Munich wanted to really keep their heritage alive. So you'll see, it doesn't look like it was bombed out. It looks like, a
looks like it's
15th
old.
century, 16th century
Yeah.
town. But a lot of it has been rebuilt. Not all of it. There's definitely places that have not been. But I think that's interesting before you go to kind of look at pictures and kind of in your mind know what was gone.
Right.
Yeah.
And then see what it looks like
Right.
now.
Yeah,
which
that
is
was
really
so
nice.
cool to see that.
Yeah. So Nuremberg also has room 600 in the palace where the government building where the Nuremberg trials were held.
Yes.
And we're going to see that as well.
Yeah.
Let's see here. Then we go to a place called Bamberg, which is another cute medieval town that was not touched by World War II or World War I, but that is a place famous for smoked beer. So I can't wait to try that.
What is that?
It's beer that has a smoke
They set it
added
on
to
fire
it.
when they
I
do
don't
it?
know how they do it. I don't know how
Does
they
this
make
have a
it.
smoky taste to it? Like
Yeah, I was watching
smoked
some
meats.
I
or
was
whatever?
watching some videos on it, and people said it tastes kind of like bacon. So I mean, who doesn't like
can't be
bacon?
bad then.
I know, bacon and beer
Yeah, well,
and Schneeballen.
I guarantee to at least try that.
Yeah, me too. And then we headed to Dresden, which is another place that was really destroyed by the war and has been rebuilt. And while we're there, we're going to, take a local guide around who will show us Dresden. But we're also going to take a cruise on the Elbe River and enjoy Dresden from the riverside. So
Like, how big is this river? What are we talking? Is this like a steamboat type thing?
yeah, it's like a steamboat.
Almost like
yeah.
a Mississippi River
It's
type.
it's a pretty big river, but I'm not sure if it's as big as the Mississippi River. I don't believe there are river cruises that can traverse the whole river, but I may be wrong. But
That'd be neat.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no,
You
definitely.
don't think of that. Like you keep mentioning by the water, by this
Yeah.
lake.
Right.
It seems like there's a lot of water around there
Well-
that you don't think about.
And the Elbe River is where the Russians and the Anglo-American alliance in World War II came together
Oh.
basically to end the war.
Oh, I didn't know
So
that.
that was, maybe there'll be some commemoration
Yeah,
or marking
I'm
of
sure.
that.
Kohler.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Interesting fact.
Yeah, I didn't know that. And then our final stop's going to be in Berlin, which hopefully will put all the pieces of our trip together. It's where Germany reunited in that city, and we'll have a local guide that will take us around and show us that wonderful city that's been rebuilt, and we'll learn.
Sounds like a lot and a lot of.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot.
We're
But,
packing a lot into
We
a 10-day
are.
trip, but that's good.
but if you look at a map, it's not geographically, it's not a huge area to cover. So we will
right.
be in a motor coach with guides, but it's not like 7 hours in a bus one
Right.
day.
Yeah.
Right.
I've been on
you'll-
trips like that.
I forgot one of the most important things:
Well, go ahead.
beer hiking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
It's not the only reason
How
I
does that
signed
work?
up for this.
I know. So I forget what city. I think it's maybe outside of Nuremberg. In the afternoon, they will take us into the hills, the Alps, really, and drop us off, and then we'll have a guide that will hike. And there's little beer halls along the way, little breweries. So we'll get to stop and.
Wow.
I know.
Yes.
If you want to do it, if you don't want to do it, you can go do something else. But
us?
I know. I think it'll be fun.
Sounds like fun, yes.
What are you looking forward to, Mr. Kohler, the most?
Well, it's funny, as listening to Tamara talk about this, there's a lot of things in the trip that were not at the top of my list, but everything she said is like, oh, that's so cool, I want to see that too. I mean, Salzburg definitely, because of the sound and music
Yeah.
angle, and just the fact that it's another country, Austria. I would definitely want to see anything that has a connection to United States history. So Munich, Berlin, the concentration camps, Nuremberg. But all this other stuff, even the medieval stuff, which is not a strong area for me,
Right.
sounds very exciting. And I think it's one of those trips where you don't really have to look forward to anything, because once you're there, you're going to love it.
You will. Yeah.
So a lot of this stuff, you teach some aspect of it throughout your courses in high school for the kids.
Yes, like the Munich, obviously Nuremberg, Berlin, Dresden, the bombing site for the Allies. I mean, a lot of it is covered in U.S. history.
Cool. All right, Tamara. So if somebody is thinking the same way we are, that this would be a great opportunity, how can they get more information, or what can we do to
Sign them up.
sign up? Yeah.
So they can go to our website, which is tgltravelco.com. We'll also have information on Facebook. So look for the Good Life Travel Company on Facebook, and we'll have information there. You're welcome to call me, 419-366-5028. And we'll get you signed up.
Take this opportunity to spend some time with Mr. Kohler in Europe and Germany.
And classmates.
Yes, and Feller.
Yes,
It's not
classmates.
all about me. I mean,
All right, so the first question people are probably going to ask is, what is this going to cost?
So the price for double occupancy is $4,150 per person, and that price, if you reserve before December 15th, that price is actually $39.50 per person.
That's a deal.
Yeah, it does not include airfare. We can help you with your airfare, but it includes your lodging, your transportation within Germany, all breakfast, some dinners, your admission into things. I mean, there's a lot packed
it's all in.
into
Yeah.
that. Yeah, you really just need to show up and
So
enjoy.
you could
Yes.
just pay that and you'd
Yeah,
be good.
Right.
and then if you want to leave with the group that's going to leave from Sandusky, the Good Life Travel Company will take care of your transfer to either Detroit or Cleveland. We haven't decided what the group airfare departure place will be,
Yeah.
but it'll be one of those places.
So obviously we have alumni everywhere.
Right.
So if you're in California or Texas or Florida and you wanted to go on this trip, you could help arrange their airfare to
Absolutely.
get them where they
Yep.
need to be.
Yep.
At the
You need to
right
be in
place and
Salzburg
time.
before 11 a.m. on August 1st.
And they could do that
That's the goal.
themselves.
Yeah, they could do it
but,
themselves, but we'd be happy to help with that too. And if you want to go early or stay later, we can help you with a pre or post tour extension with things to do, because there's a lot more to do in those areas. Places to stay. We can get private guides if you want a private guide.
Obviously, you're an expert in travel and you done this a lot of times, so yes, you can probably answer any question they have or solve any problem
Yeah.
that might arise.
I want to mention one more thing too, passports. You need to have a passport
Yeah.
to travel.
Valid
passport.
passport.
Yeah, you need to have at least 6 months remaining on your passport from the day you return home. So if you need to renew or you need to get a passport, you really need to start that process right now because
How long
you're
does
backed
that
up.
take?
Gosh,
You never know.
Yeah, you really just never know. We've got plenty of time right now, but it could take up to 6 months. So, yeah, get your.
Maybe not a lot of time. Do you have a passport already?
I do.
Yeah.
I do, and mine has several years left on it. So
The thing is, you have to make sure that it's not going to expire and that you have enough. You have 6 months
Right.
beyond the date that you return home. It doesn't really expire on the date on your passport. It expires 6 months earlier than that. Other countries
Sounds like
Don't
a
ask me
loophole.
why.
Sounds like a trick.
yeah, it does sound like a- they want to make sure that you can get out of their country.
Gotcha.
Right.
Yeah, you can't overstay your welcome.
Overstay your welcome.
Yeah.
Can't have that.
Tamara, repeat again, please. What did you say that date was as far as getting a little bit of a discount if you register ahead of time?
December 15th.
December 15th,
December 15th.
okay.
It's $39.50 a person, double occupancy. And if you want to travel single, there is a small single supplement for a single room. But if you want to have a roommate and there's other people that want roommates, we'll be happy to try to match you up with a roommate to save that money.
Perfect. So, Mr. Kohler, will there be any assignments or homework leading up to this or after?
There's no homework leading up to it. Once I get the class roster, so make sure you signed up for this class ASAP, then I will dole out some assignments and post some things on the website, and maybe there'll be some pre-reading and some homework to do. But this is about having fun, learning, and just spending time with family and friends and fellow alums. I'm really looking forward to it. Personally, I've traveled with Good Life Travel Company twice now. My brother and I drove out to South Dakota. Tammy and her group set up all the lodging and stuff like that. And then last summer, I took a cruise to Alaska, and it went really well. So they're an excellent travel company to travel with.
Thanks.
Yeah.
We love doing it. We really think it's important for people to get out and see the world.
Anything else we should know, or what are the dates for the actual trip again?
August 1st through the 10th are the dates of the trip.
So we'll be back in time for school.
Right.
Yeah,
At
you
least
can't-
a couple weeks before school starts, so that
Be a good
should not be an
summer-
issue.
be a good summer trip.
Yeah, and I think it'd be nice for multi-generational families to go too. Your mom's an alum, you're an alum, your kids are an alum.
Yes.
My kids are an alum.
Yes.
Yeah. I think it'd be kind of fun to, and our kids had Mr. Kohler, we had Mr. Kohler.
Poor kids.
Across generations.
Yeah, I don't know who that's worse for, us or him, but
No, not me, definitely. It just proves I'm old, that's
Yeah.
all.
yeah, that's what I'm alluding to. But all right, well, thank you for being here today. Thank you, Mr. Kohler. And,
Thank you.
Look for information about this.
The Good Life, tgltravelco.com.
All right, and we hope you'll take advantage of this opportunity. Thank you, guys.
Thank
Thanks.
you.
All right.